Hi all folks, here we are. I'm getting real close to attempting to cut my gear. I've got all the pieces in place now, and looks like it's really damn close. Here's my form tool, and it's, I don't know if you pick that up or not, but I've actually got a different depth there. Doesn't matter because it isn't actually part of the profile, and I don't even cut that deep. But I farted with that. I actually had a magnifying glass over the grinder trying to get that just right, and what I ended up doing was I just I cleaned up, took the best example I had, and I just grind a little, stick it in there, grind a little, stick it back in there, and I just played with it until I got it. It took me about an hour, but I got it finally. The next piece of the puzzle was using that tool. So I took Andrew's idea and I made it my own. So there's my fly cutter. Hindsight 2020, I screwed up. When I put this in, it actually sits something like that. I should have made it bigger. So now that's all the meat that this seats against. On this side there, I've got 2 set screws holding it in place, but unfortunately, there's not a lot of meat there. This would have been a good size for a much smaller tooling. That's a 3/8 bit, lathe bit actually, that I cut that out of. And it'll work. Let's take it easy, but if I was to really hog something off with this, I'd be concerned about that. But so anyways, so that goes in there. This little guy goes in here. Turn. I'm holding my phone here, so I can't do it any very tight. But anyway, so that's basically the way it sits. It spins this way, and it's gonna cut. So now, here's my blank. And what's with all the holes? Well, those 2 spreadsheets, I developed that whole work, and this worked out for me because it was an even set. If it was an oddball set of teeth, I'd be a little bit screwed. But so my plan is I drilled all these holes, I cleaned them all up, everything's sitting nice, and I've got 2 little pins, just like that, and they're going to sit in corresponding holes. So like that guy and probably that guy there. Bear with me. There we go. Figure it out yet? Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take this and I'm going to plop it right in here. So now this blank is sitting perfectly parallel that way. I put a stop in here, so I'm registering it against that. I'm registering it against the jaw. I tighten this up. I take my handy dandy little tool. I don't know if I can get this or not. Yeah. I take my handy dandy little tool and I bring this down to wherever it needs to go. I'm not exactly sure yet. And then I just dial it back and forth. So once I dial this in, let's see if I can get close. It's going to be somewhere in there. There, I gotta spin it this way because it's going to undo on me. So what ends up happening, right? So I set up my height. I got to dial that in. That's fairly easy to do. And then basically what's going to end up happening is I'm going to zero out my DRO there. And I'm going to take this hand wheel and I'm just going to jog it back and forth. Just like that. I'm going to bring it back, dial it in, take a pass, bring it back, dial it in. I'm going to do several cuts till I get to my height. And then get this out of here. Forgive me. Alright, once that's done, I plop this out. I go to my next set of holes. So I go up 1 to there, down 1 to there, take that back, drop it in there, that's registered, shove it up against my stop, repeat process, rinse, repeat, 64 times, Bob's your uncle. So that's what the holes are for. That's how I'm going to register it. That's how I'm going to cut my my keys. Should work out pretty good. I'm going to see if I can prop up the camera and take a couple shots when it's actually running. We'll see. Wish me luck.